Hello everyone, so today I want to talk to you about the Elimination Diet. I want to talk about what it is, why I did it, how it works, how it went, and what I'm going to do about it in the future. After just a tough time where I felt like I just could not do everything on my own anymore and I needed some extra help, I decided to go to a doctor who suggested that I started doing the Elimination Diet. So the Elimination Diet is basically a diet that you do for about like 3 weeks depending on whatever your doctor says, and you need to go to a doctor or a functional medicine person or someone that can help you facilitate in this based on your history and what symptoms you're showing and stuff like that. I've been struggling with stomach aches and pains and moodiness and anxiety and sadness and fatigue and stuff like that for pretty much my whole life, and then it got kind of really bad the last few months, so I was like, okay, it's time that I need someone, to help me out and try to figure out what's really going on here. And I feel like a lot of my stuff has to do with food, so I was like, maybe they'll figure out, I just didn't know where to go or what to do. So my doctor immediately said, I think that you should do the Elimination Diet, which I was like, okay, that's gonna be pretty crazy. So your doctor would assign you like different foods to eliminate based on your history and what symptoms you're showing and stuff like that. And I was told to eliminate dairy, gluten, soy, egg, sugar, corn, peanuts, shrimp, and I think that's it. Maybe a few other things, caffeine, stuff like that. So I did that and I had a really successful experience and I really learned a lot about my body, and I actually don't have any stomach aches. I feel like everything's a lot more balanced and stuff, and I wanted to kind of just go through it and tell you how it works for me. So the experience of being on an elimination diet was difficult. Like the first probably 3 days, I literally thought I was not going to make it. I was like, I need eggs in the morning. Where are my eggs? And I did not know what to eat, what to cook. I've had a dairy allergy for my entire life, and I stopped eating dairy when I was like 15 maybe. So like that was pretty easy, and the whole breakfast thing, I'm not really a big breakfast person, but suddenly I was so hungry every morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to eat something. And I basically ended up starving myself for like the first week because I just didn't even know what to cook, what to eat. Nothing tasted good. After that first week, I kind of felt like totally defeated. I was like, there's no point in this. It's not helping me. I felt kind of the same, maybe even a little worse just because I was so hungry. And then the second week, I was like, okay, I have to figure this out. I have to get going. So I started cooking things that I wouldn't normally cook and just started kind of like doing different stuff that I wouldn't normally do. And it really started working. Like I still felt a lot of stomach pains. I was still having bathroom stuff, but I was like, oh man, I could see something happening here, and I felt like a lot more energy, which was kind of the first sign for me. And then I started feeling a little more balanced with my emotions and mood and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, there's something maybe going on here. So the second week was just kind of figuring it out. I started doing a lot of Deliciously Ella recipes. She has the best recipes for like gluten-free vegan stuff, and I also did a lot of Chris Carr recipes because she's kind of the same. She does gluten-free vegan, and they were so good. And I really started to like crave certain vegetables. The thing that was crazy to me was that there was never a point where I was like really craving and missing sugar. And that was like my number one thing. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to live without sugar? Because I sneak those Skittles in like every single day. I live for a good pack of Skittles. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But since the beginning, I didn't really ever crave sugar. There were a few days in the middle, like 2.5 weeks in, no, like 1.5 week in, where I felt really fatigued and really tired, and I was like, something's not right here. Like I shouldn't be fatigued or tired. So what should I do? And my mom, who was also doing the Elimination Diet with me, because you're supposed to do it with your whole family, so my mom helped me out and did it with me, and she said, why don't you add some fruits to your diet, because you're not really eating a lot of fruit and that might give you a little extra energy. And it was like a game changer for me. It like kept away, any sugar cravings. It just gave me lots of extra energy. So like in the morning, I would try to eat a smoothie with some extra fruit in it if I felt kind of fatigued. And I started to learn like what my body was needing and what I needed to listen to and stuff like that. And so normally I would start my day with like a smoothie or a juice, and it would be like a green smoothie or a juice. And then if I felt fatigued or something, I would add a little more fruit or anything like that. Some days I would do like gluten-free oatmeal, but I hate oatmeal. Like I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. I'm trying to like oatmeal. I actually had it for breakfast this morning. So I did that a few days, and then I would do like sweet potatoes, like roasted sweet potatoes or roasted potatoes, and I'd make kind of like a scramble type thing without the egg. and stuff like that. And so that was my breakfast, and then I would normally have like a snack before lunch. It was probably like a piece of fruit or something. And then for lunch, I would do like leftovers from the night before. I had a lot of brown rice pasta, which was really good, or like something with rice, lots of veggies, sometimes a salad. Just I tried to get in as many like greens and veggies as I could. And then for dinner, I would like make something, and that would kind of be like the time where I would try new things. And I made like this really good sweet potato hash one time, and it was so good. I basically just took all the veggies and all the sweet potatoes that I had in the fridge and added everything. My new favorite thing is putting paprika on sweet potatoes. I learned that from Deliciously Ella, and I was like, this is a game changer. It tastes so good. So I would do that, and then like after that, I just felt really good and solid. Like I never felt like I was craving anything. Oh, another one of my favorite snacks was doing brown rice cakes with almond butter on it or avocado on it. And it was so good. That was one of my favorites too, for sure. So I felt like by eating that way, slowly by the end of the second week, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually am not craving anything. Like I feel really sustained and happy. I really missed eggs, so I still wanted those. And then I started to kind of feel like I was coming out on the other side, and like this might actually be working. And I really, like the energy thing was crazy for me because I just haven't had a lot of energy. So to do that, I was like, this is just amazing. So after the second week was the last week, and the last week was where I feel like I shined in the whole diet thing. And I wouldn't call it a diet, I would just call it like a lifestyle change. And I was just like plowing through meals, trying different things. Like I knew what to order at restaurants, even though I don't suggest you go out to many restaurants because it's very difficult. I kept doing the smoothies and the juices, and it tasted amazing. By the third week, it was the miraculous week where my stomach pains completely went away. Like I did not have one stomach ache, and I have never, like I don't remember a time when I didn't have a stomach ache throughout the day. And it almost like makes me emotional because I just felt like I was connected to my body, I knew what was going on, and I felt like it was really working for me. And I don't know, like the things that I eliminated, I was very strict. I never cheated on anything unless it was by accident or like something that I don't know about. And I just like made sure to follow whatever was right for me and what I should be eating. And I found lots of really good recipes, and I think it just required work changing my mindset into the thought process of like, how am I going to eat this way? You know, what do I need to order? What kind of things should I pick up from the grocery? And then once I kind of got in the groove by the third week, I was like, oh, like it's almost easy. Like it started turning into something more easy, and it really, really helped me. So I just can't rave enough about it. So by the end of the third week, I was like, you know, I'm doing good. Do I really need to like bring these things back? Because I kind of feel like I could go longer. But I felt like I still needed to know what those things were and triggers, just in case I get into a situation where I have to eat something, you know, that's maybe a little different from all those things that I can't have. And I wanted to see just if anything wasn't a reaction. And I really, really missed eggs. Let me say that again. I really, really missed eggs. So the first day off the elimination diet, I was like, okay, it's egg time. We're going to Waffle House, which probably wasn't the best place to go to try eggs for the first time. But I was like, you know, really feeling it, and I really, really missed some Waffle House eggs. Oh, they're so good. And so me and my boyfriend Jordan went to Waffle House, and I had eggs, and the entire day I felt like I was going to throw up. My stomach was queasy, I felt sick, and I was like, okay, this is definitely just the Waffle House experience. This has nothing to do with the eggs. I really did not want to admit that it was the eggs. And it lasted all day, and then by night it kind of went away, and I started to feel a lot better, and by morning I felt good again. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try the eggs again. So the way that it works is that when you try something, you try it for 3 days to bring it back for 72 hours. And that kind of is the time that it goes through your system, and that it can show if you have a reaction to it or a sensitivity to it. So I was like, okay, I gotta wait 3 days. So I did that, and then I was like, I'm gonna try eggs again because it definitely cannot be eggs. So I made some fresh, organic, you know, homegrown eggs with a lot of veggies and stuff that I would normally eat, and I ate it that morning, and I was like, this is gonna be good, this is gonna be good. Same exact thing. My stomach started hurting, I felt like I was gonna throw up, I felt queasy, and I was like, no, this is the culprit. Because like, I eat eggs every day, I'm a big egg eater. And so I just couldn't imagine the fact that like, I cannot eat eggs without feeling like I was gonna throw up. And it made so much sense to me all of a sudden. I was like, wow. And so the other two things that I tried to have reactions to were gluten and sugar, which I already knew about sugar. And then I didn't even try dairy because I know that and I do not want to go down that route again. So I tried gluten and I just felt like sick to my stomach, bloated, disgusting, and I was like, well, there you go. I kind of already knew it. And then sugar I kind of knew too. And then I tried corn, soy, I brought those back and I feel really good. I don't have a problem with them. And you know, I was really happy about that. So that was kind of the process, and those were the things that I had and brought back and that I had a reaction to, which was really, can you tell that I'm still mourning the eggs? Like, oh my gosh, I can't get over it. Maybe in a few months. They say like if you don't have something for 3 months and you bring it back in, it won't be a problem. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know, we'll see. But I was just so sad about the eggs. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh man. Okay, so those are basically the 4 big triggers was dairy, gluten, eggs, and sugar. And without those, I feel like a little superstar. I just feel like I can do anything, go anywhere, be anyone, and it's an amazing life living without stomach pains or without like crazy mood swings. Obviously I'm still super sensitive and I still have bad days, but being on this diet just has really helped me and has really helped clean my system up. And I'm still doing other things that help, you know, like taking supplements, you know, living the right life, going to bed, getting enough sleep, being outside, trying to be away from my computer all the time, or not all the time, but trying to be away from it sometimes. Stuff like that that just creates a well-rounded life are things that are important to me, and I feel like the combination of all of those things is what's helped me really come out on the other side a little bit. And it's still only been a few months since I kind of went through like my sad, anxious, not fun phase, but I feel like this elimination diet has really helped. So if you're going through something like that, I would suggest seeing a doctor and just trying to do it. You know, for me, it was just something that I wanted to try to figure out naturally, and I don't feel like I've conquered it. I feel like I'm just in an up phase right now, and that life is like these big waves. But I know that like following this and, you know, eating the right way and doing the right things for my body and for myself are what's going to keep me feeling good and happy. So that's kind of the experience. I have had a few slip-ups since then, and it's not been fun. And I've also realized that like eating good is eating good. Like you can't add, you know, corn back and then eat like tortilla chips every day. I went on a little like binge last week where I had tortilla chips and salsa and guac like twice a day for like 3 days in a row. And I felt kind of crappy and really disgusting afterwards because I just don't think that tortilla chips are a good sustainable food source. So I think focusing on eating, you know, whole plants, whole everything, and trying not to like do anything processed and stuff like that is what kind of keeps me going and keeps me happy. So last few days I've gotten back into the groove, and I don't know, I feel like that's what's going on. So I hope this isn't all over the place. I kind of just wanted to have like an honest, straight up conversation about how I've been kind of starting to make myself feel better because I went through a phase that just was not fun. And I feel like a lot of people go through that, and I feel like it's a totally normal part of life, especially around this age or around like, you know, the life things that I'm going through. And I just feel like it might be helpful for you, or you could help me somehow by telling me something that's worked for you. So comment down below if you have any suggestions. So I also wanted to share a few like tips and tricks and things that have helped me, and some things that I enjoyed using and definitely used like every single day while I was on this diet. So the first thing is a journal, which sounds simple, but you really want to make sure that you're writing down and kind of analyzing every single thing that you're putting into your body and how it's affecting you in all different types of ways. So there are a few little like food things that I picked up that I knew would help sustain me and like keep me excited about food for the 3 weeks that I was on this diet. And the first one was acai powder. Oh my gosh, I literally added this to like every smoothie, I added it to oatmeal, which was delicious. I added it to like any breakfast thing or snack that I wanted to have just a little extra punch and a little extra flavor. This was awesome. It gave my oatmeal like really good sweetness, and it just tasted really good, and I feel like it gave me a lot of energy, and so I loved this. This is the Navita's Natural Acai Powder, and it's called the Amazon Superfruit. Another little addition that I loved adding to smoothies and to oatmeal and stuff like that were cacao nibs. This is the True Vibe cacao nibs, and these are raw. So make sure to get raw cacao nibs. You're not supposed to have chocolate. That's another one. You're not supposed to have chocolate while you're on the diet, or at least I wasn't. But I felt like I could have cacao. So I did this and I had no problem. I added it to like literally everything. I would just eat it on its own too if like I wanted a little boost of something happy and chocolatey kind of. And then my favorite like snacking food are these Kale Crunch Alive and Radiant Spicy Superfood Kale chip things. They are so good. They're really spicy, but they have this like cheesy almost flavor, and they just taste delicious. I don't really like kale chips, but I really like these. These are like the only ones that I've ever had and loved. So definitely get these. And then the 3 cookbooks that totally like saved my life while on this diet was, the first one was Chloe's Vegan Italian Kitchen. I did a lot of brown rice pasta, and I found brown rice lasagna noodles, and I literally live off of this white lasagna with roasted butternut squash and spinach in her thing. It was actually the first thing that I made when I could eat that way, and I just didn't do like the tofu ricotta because I couldn't have soy. And I did like, it was butternut squash and like this creamy cashew, like Alfredo kind of stuff, and it was so good. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live. And then the next cookbook that saved my life was this Crazy Sexy Juice cookbook. I can drink any juice or smoothie in this cookbook and it's always delicious. I've made like probably 50 of her recipes, and every single one is just amazing. You can tell that I've used it a lot because there's chia seeds falling out of it right now. Oh my gosh. So some of my favorites, there's like a green juice in the beginning. The cooling greens I love. And there is a Hello Hydration. This one's delicious. Basically any recipe in this cookbook is a winner, and I just love anything by her. Her Crazy Sexy Kitchen cookbook is also amazing, and I don't know what I'd do without this little cookbook on that 3-week diet that is now turning into a lifestyle change. And then the last cookbook that I absolutely loved and lived by was this Deliciously Ella cookbook. I love Deliciously Ella. I love anything that she makes, and everything that I've tried has always been delicious. I've done the sweet potato brownies. I think that I have made her pesto and brown rice pasta probably 15 times in like the last 2 weeks. It is so good. I got it on her app actually, and her app's really amazing too. But I just love anything from her, and I'm so excited that her new cookbook is gonna be out soon, and this was definitely a huge lifesaver. So that's it on my elimination diet journey. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about it, and let me know if you've done it and it works for you, or if you want to do it, and I can kind of give you any suggestions or advice that I have. But if you want to do the elimination diet, make sure that you always consult with someone that's a professional and knows kind of what to eliminate from your diet and how to keep you healthy while you're on it and stuff like that. It really worked for me, and it's made me super happy, and it's eliminated my stomach pains, which is like the best feeling in the entire world, and I'm so excited about that. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!